What is up everyone, today we're showcasing a newly released Pokemon Aurorus. Aurorus, a rock and ice type Pokemon with some decent bulk and really good moves. The moveset you're generally gonna want to run is Powder Snow with Weather Ball Ice and Thunderbolt. That combination of moves is just super solid because Powder Snow charges up your charge moves very fast and Ice plus Electric coverage is very strong. You're basically hitting neutral or super effective versus basically all of the meta. There's really nothing that resists both of these moves. There's a couple Pokemon like Magnezone for example, I think a couple others, but not many at all. Aurorus also has access to some other moves. It has Rock Throw as a fast move, which could be interesting if you want to hit those fire types a little bit harder. And then it also has Frost Breath, which you're definitely not gonna want to run. As charge moves, it also has Ancient Power, Blizzard, and Hyper Beam. All three of these, I don't think you're really gonna want to run in the Open Grade League at least. Though Ancient Power and maybe even Hyper Beam could come in useful in some limited meta, probably. Aurorus really gets held back by its typing though. The Ice Rock typing just is very lackluster. You take double super effective damage from counters. You're not great against the ground types. You get destroyed by Registeel, which made it pretty difficult to make a solid squad with it today. Trevenant though is a pretty good cover for it, which is why I'll be pairing it in this team here. But I also got another team where I'll be pairing it with Cofagrigus as well, which is a solid duo too. So in this video you see multiple different teams come by. And we got like 8 battles here to show you some Aurorus action. Alright, this game, Aurorus actually did a lot of work versus Nidoqueen and the Sableye, and Trevenant just cleans up here, and it's a good game. Next up, we get a Walrein lead into my Cofagrigus. Pretty alright for Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus, by the way, pretty good partner for Aurorus as well, because you also cover for the fighting types, the ground types, and the steel types. Only problem is like Scrafty probably, which... well, you know, he can't be strong as everything, so we're just gonna have to live with that. Since I'm expecting there might be like a Medicham in the back or another fighter, I'm gonna switch into my own Walrein there, hoping to catch an Icicle Spear. Unfortunately, I don't though, so they're able to throw a potential Earthquake here, which I will shoot up. Very good shield by me here, because that would have done a lot of damage. In comes their own Cofagrigus. They're also running Cofagrigus Walrein core here. Will we see an Aurorus in the back? That'd be pretty nice. They need 7 Shadow Claws for the Shadow Ball, so I throw my Icicle Spear right before they get there, and now I'm hoping this kills, or I can kill in one Powder Snow, but I don't, so they get to the Shadow Ball, which I will shield up. If Cofagrigus is their best answer to Walrein, my Walrein probably still has a lot of play versus whatever is in the back, so I'm just going to shield it up. Since I have so much health still, I will probably be able to do a bunch of damage, or take another shielder. In comes their own Walrein. Which makes it pretty clear that they're probably pretty weak to Walrein in the back. So kinda, well, maybe it is a mistake. If they're weak to Walrein, they're probably weak to Aurorus. So I probably should have just let my own Walrein go, then take out this Walrein with my Cofagrigus, and then maybe Aurorus could have swept. I think in hindsight, this is a misplay. I bring in Aurorus here though, because I get to the Thunderbolt before Walrein is able to reach the Earthquake, but they make an insane catch onto the Trevenant. This is super devastating because this is resisted. In general, Aurorus does beat Weather Ball, beat Trevenant, because you can kill it with the Weather Ball and they don't kill with the Seed Bomb. No, it is super effective. Pretty weak move. At this point, I cannot throw the Weather Ball though. I have to farm up to a Weather Ball plus Thunderbolt, or I have to like kill this and then still be able to get to the Thunderbolt versus Walrein. But neither of those were possible, because the Walrein would just farm me down before I reach the Thunderbolt. So yeah, I just let my Aurorus go down and hope I can get to the Earthquake with my own Walrein, but they reached it before, so that is a good game. Next up, we see a Lickitung lead. Not great for Aurorus, but this is even worse. Surfetch comes in, and those counters already did so much damage. I also bring in Trevenant here, which is a bit of a mistake, because Surfetch can win here. Medicham is a much better answer, but I was fine with going into this because it is super bad against Lickitung, and I still got my Medicham for that Lickitung to Problem is though, it's probably Metacham in the back. If it's Metacham, that's very painful for my Aurorus, of course, because we already saw how much those counters did earlier. Yeah, it's not great for the ice and rock type. Just gonna let my Trevenant go down there. I know he's gonna be able to counter me down before I reach another Seed Bomb, so there's no point. I'm gonna counter down their Surfetch with Metacham, and now I have a 2-shield Metacham versus the Lickitung, and what I'm expecting to be another Metacham in the back, or another fighter at least. Now my opponent here throws a move, and I thought this is Bully Slam, but no, they're actually running Stomp, which is wild, very wild. But now I'm able to farm this down. It is their own Metacham in the back, which I will just Psychic here. Now this could be a Metacham sweep, but this is kind of boring. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna switch into Aurorus here, because I want to see how much these counters do. And I must say, for double super effective counters from a Metacham, that's doing less than I was expecting, but still a lot of damage. We take it out with the Aurorus though, and it's another good game. Alright, Metacham lead into my Covagrigus, super good for me. In comes Warren, I don't have a solid response to this, so I'm just gonna stay in, throw a Shadow Ball, get some chip or get a shield, and then I'll either switch in my Aurorus or my Warren. Probably Aurorus, because Aurorus is the worst Pokemon versus his lead Metacham. They let that go, which isn't great, because I would have rather had them shield that, so I could Thunderbolt with Aurorus. I catch a move here though, probably. Well, this is definitely an Icicle Spear, so this does nothing on my Aurorus. They actually lag one turner and then get some stutter, so I lost some count, and they get to a mover. I didn't think this could be Earthquake, and even if it was Earthquake, I wanted to see how much it does, and well, it is an Earthquake. And it killed. So this is now quite bad, because now I won't have my Covagrigus aligned to the Metacham, and they have the Lola Ninetales in the back. So yeah, we're not looking too hot here. I'm gonna play this out anyway. Throw the Shadow Ball, which unfortunately shield up. Walrein also not too great. Versa Lola Ninetales. And I know they still have a Metacham with a shield in the back, so at this point I'm gonna let this go. This is very over. And yeah, we're just gonna move on to the next match. Next up, we got a very interesting lead with Aurorus into Jellicent. Jellicent does take resisted damage from these ice powder snows, but the Thunderbolt will do super effective damage, so a very solid chunk. They shoot it up though, unfortunately. Aurorus is decently tanky too though, so whatever they throw here, I don't really have to shield. Shadow Ball will do a solid chunk, like you see right here, does a solid chunk, but doesn't kill, so I can still put a Thunderbolt here. Hopefully we see it go through this time. I really want to know how much this does, and it does a very good amount of damage. They get to another move here. If I shoot this up, I get to another Weather Ball. I can win this matchup in the ones, but I opt to let it go so I can get some extra farm on my Trevenant, because Trevenant and Metacham with shield advantage are just super powerful. In comes Altaria now. This is where I would have really liked to see my Aurorus, to be honest. But we got Trevenant on here, which is not the best, since Altaria does beat Trevenant, beats Metagem too, so not great for my backline, but with shield advantage, energy advantage, I should be fine here. Gonna shield this up, and I'm just gonna go for another Shadow Ball. If they let this go, I'm just gonna switch to Metacham. If they shield this, I'm gonna switch to Metacham. If they let this go, we're gonna see what is in the back, and it is a Galarian Stunfisk, which is very nice from Metacham. I even catch a Rock Slide here, which is completely unnecessary, but you know, fun. At this point, I should be super good to just almost counter down and double Ice Punch this thing. Gotta shield this up though, because an Earthquake will do a lot to Metacham. It does like 60%, I think. Or I think around, actually no, just like 50. You need like 2 and some mud shots to kill Metacham. Like, the matchup for Stunfisk really isn't that bad, but it was bad here. I take it out, and it's a GG. Covagrigus into their Cresselia is a very solid lead for me. They bring in Warren, I bring in Aurorus. Thinking I would win this matchup, but I looked at the sims like earlier or like after this battle, and Aurorus actually just gets wrecked here. I thought it would win because I looked at the Ultra League sims, and in Ultra League you can actually win the 0s and the 1s with baits. In the Great League you just get destroyed, unless you can get the Thunderbolt off and you shoot the Earthquake, which is what I did here. Now the matchup is actually kind of okay-ish for Aurorus. Still, you're gonna have to invest like an extra shield, but you can win this. I go for a Thunderbolt there because a Weather Ball doesn't kill, and if I Weather Ball and they no shield, they'll be able to get to another Earthquake without having to shield at all. So I'd have to go in a 2-shield deficit if I want to win that. I don't wanna, so through the Thunderbolt. Now I can go for the Weather Ball because it's definitely in kill range. This does take out the Walrein, and now I have switch advantage. Cresselia comes into my Aurorus. This is not a good matchup for Aurorus, but these neutral Weather Balls just really start adding up. I'm gonna get 2 at least, and if they overfarm a little bit, I might be able to get a 3rd as well, which would put this Cresselia quite low. With 2 Weather Balls, we already put it almost into the yellow. I get to a 3rd. I also lag a little bit there. It's kind of weird. I got like 4 Psycho Cuts for my 3 Powder Snows. I don't know, doesn't really matter. I think we've already put it into the red, and I got the shield advantage. I mean switch advantage. They still have the shield advantage, unfortunately. They bring an Azumarill. I instant switch into my Walrein. Not the best matchup for Walrein, but I can get a solid chunk of damage here with the Earthquakes. If they have Play Rough though, they will outpace me to 2 Play Roughs before I can get to 2 Earthquakes and kill me, which unfortunately they do have. I'm just gonna go straight for the Earthquake here. If I get a shield, that's fine. If I don't get a shield, that's also fine, because then I get a very good chunk of damage. I think there's a Play Rough right there. I don't know, the bubbles were kind of strange. I waited 1 turn there, hoping to CMP tie with them, but they didn't throw. Very smart by them. And now they're gonna overfarm, throw a move here. They actually shielded Icicle Spear, which is very good for me. If they didn't shield that, I would have been able to farm down with Cofagrigus though. So either shield or no shield would have been fine for me. They get to the move here right before I can get to the Shadow Ball. I'm really hoping my Shadow Ball didn't fire, but we got the, what is it called? The desynced CMP tie. Because Cofagrigus has lower attack than Azu, so this shouldn't be a CMP tie, but it is since it's like off sync. It's like a bug. So this is not great. If they get to 2 moves here now, I will lose. But they throw a Moonblast. Do I get there? I don't get there, but I farm them down before their 2nd move, and that's a GG. Lurantis lead. This is very interesting because I get to my Weather Ball in 10 turns, and I also get to a Superpower in 10 turns. So this could be it. I'm gonna shield it up. Just a Leaf Blade will still do a ton of damage, so it's a good shield by me. Here comes Drapion. This is fine for Aurorus. I'm just gonna straight Weather Ball here. I want to save my Aurorus for later though. It's gonna be good against that Lurantis. So this was 4 Poison Stings, so I knew it was Aqua Tail, but as you can see, Lurantis takes that easy. They threw immediately, so I also know it's 4 more for the next Aqua Tail, which I kind of have to throw or get to another Weather Ball. So I'm just gonna catch it onto my Medicham. Won't do anything here, and now I'll probably be able to farm down this Drapion with my Medi and have a bunch of energy loaded for whatever's in the back, not before they get to another move. Though this is crunch for sure, because they threw 5 Poison Stings, but it doesn't kill, so I don't have to shield. They don't even get the defense drop, which is quite solid, because they bring in Noctowl here, and because they didn't get the defense drop, I'm gonna get to 2 Ice Punches here for sure. I think even if they got the defense drop, I would have gotten to 2 Ice Punches. The defense drop might have actually been nice for me, because then they would have gotten less farm, now that I think about it. But still, this is super fine. Double Ice Punch. I will bring in the Aurorus now. I don't throw my move. I just want to farm this down, because I know it's Lurantis in the back too. I know if I just shield this up, farm down, I can double Weather Ball the Lurantis, take it out, and then farm down the Noctowl to 1 Weather Ball coming out here. Probably gonna take a shield. It does, then I throw another one. This should take out the Lurantis for sure. And then we just gotta hope that I can farm down before this Noctowl gets to the move. But that shouldn't be any trouble. Aurorus with a very nice sweep. GG. Final battle. I lead Cofagrigus into Medicham. Very solid lead for me. And they bring in Linoone, which just absolutely hard walls Cofagrigus and has Grass Knot to hit my Walrein and Aurorus for very hard. I also make a huge mistake by switching in Walrein, because Walrein is much less tanky, so it can't really take the Grass Knot. I didn't shield there because I know they're gonna outpace me. I gave them too many Shadow Claws advantage where it would not have any point. It would not have had any point to shield that. So didn't shield it. But Aurorus, I don't shield again. Aurorus would have taken that fine, so I definitely should have brought in Aurorus versus his Linoone. Actually, I looked at the sims later after this battle, and Aurorus can actually win that matchup, because you just outspam and they die to like 2 Weather Balls. So Equals Metacham again now. I just gotta hope that I can kill whatever's in the back, but it's a Zangoose. Another one of Cofagrigus, just hardest answer. So this is not looking great. I do have a Weather Ball stored up on... did I say? No, I did say Cofagrigus, right? Yeah, Zangoose is Cofagrigus hardest counter. If I can get 2 shields here and then Weather Ball the Zangoose, switch out and then still save my Cofagrigus, I might be fine here. But I get to Second Night Slash before my Dark Pulse. This is just looking super bad, so I'm just gonna let it go. Bring in my Aurorus now. My final goal this battle is just to take out this Zangoose. So I'm gonna go for the Thunderbolt. This should knock out if it don't shoot, and it don't shoot. So that's a moral victory right here, taking out the Goose, but getting taken out by the Metacham. GG. That was the final battle. Hope you enjoyed today's video. My final verdict on Aurorus is it is not good in the Open Great League meta. It just has too many weaknesses, especially its double weakness to fighting is very detrimental. But it is very bulky. No, it's decently bulky. It has good moves, good coverage. So in like limited metas where fighters are banned, where ground types aren't very existent, I think Aurorus could be very, very good. So I highly recommend you try to get a good one this adventure week. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Good luck with your battles.